Let's check out Main himself. How you doing, Main?
I'm good. I'm well. I'm blessed and highly favoured. Thank you for asking, brother. And yourself?
Yeah, man. I'm a little bit struggling, to be honest. I got if you can tell, I got a bit of a cold, so I'm just trying to yeah, it'll probably sound like I got a bit of a snuffle one, but apart from that, man, it's all good. Thanks for asking.
Keep on believing Jesus for your healing, brother.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Welcome to HopeJamz, man. Like I say, man, I've been playing your music since you've given it to me, and it's the way you've been putting these tracks together. There's obviously with the kind of like a sermon series in there as well, and you've got a lot of emotion, and you've retouched and stuff. But your rap style as well, man. It seems a lot of emotion kind of thing in there. Yeah, man. I was gonna say, well, introduce yourself a bit more, man, so we can get to know you. Like who is Main and where did Main come from to get? How did you get here right now, kind of thing?
I'm just a rapper out of London South. I'm 29 years old. I mean, I've been rapping since I was about 16. Really playing around with the arts, growing up with people in the streets. You know, the secular artists like Soul Solid and people like that was around my generation, and some American artists as well. And yeah, during all the time from I was about 16 to where I'm at now, 29, I think the Lord was just been saved for about 3 years, coming up 3 years now, and I think the Lord, we used to rap a lot and meet up and make a lot of music, and I think during that time is when I developed my style and who I am as an artist, my personality as an artist, and then I think the Lord just, He saved me. And he turned it around, and he's just using it for him now. I mean, like you mentioned, the sermons and the music, and I think the word is very important in the music. So I make sure I throw the word in there. I make sure my bars, my lyrics have actually got as much of the word of God, if you can hear it in there, as possible as well. And yeah, this is where I'm at. Hey, man. Just an independent artist. I'm not signed or anything. I've got a little team that I work with. I work with Omni God Music, and I work with United Empire. Yeah, and I just like to connect with other artists and just do my thing to go to the glory of God. You know what I mean? If he takes it anywhere, then that's I bless the Lord's name for that. But other than that, it's just a gift that He given me, like He's given everyone a gift. And yeah, I just use it to glorify His name, man.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So, I mean, how long have you been in the scene and doing that, confidently with your rap music? Like what you would say, as a professional? I
would say, as a professional, I mean, I was signed, actually. I've been signed to an independent label. This was going back about 5 years. And we released a single. So I would say from about 5 years ago is when I really been pressing in. But then after about the 2 years, I got saved. So yeah, and I've been going hard for Christ as well since then. So yeah, about 5 years I would say, brother.
You've got Word on the Streets that we're showcasing tonight. A couple of tracks from it that's coming up. But I mean, what else have you put out as a kind of what's known as a gospel rapper? Have you put any other projects out, or is that one of your first ones?
That was I was working closely with a brother called Matt Slinky from the Soundbox. There's a studio in Sutton, Surrey called the Soundbox. And I mean, this is another thing. I just used to do my thing. I've got my little setup and at home, and by God's grace, He's allowed me to build up my little setup with my equipment and things like that. So we just used to do our thing in the house. And I mean, Word on the Street, that's the first time I actually paid for studio time. And me and this brother was, liaising a lot about the tracks and going back and forth and really trying to tweak them and get them to where we wanted them to be. It's a free release, actually. I've released it, but it's just a free release. And, again, it's just to the glory of God. We haven't charged anything for it or anything like that. So, yeah, you can find that on, if you've got Omni God Music, it's a SoundCloud link, and just / and you put Main, M-A-N-E, and my sets will come up. somewhere in there, man. You can listen to that. Should be able to download that for free.
Yeah, I mean, your music itself is very good. I mean, the other tracks you sent me that weren't on Word on the Streets were good as well. But yeah, I would say there was a considerable increase of like difference. Word on the Streets it did seem to be like it had been like produced, you know what I mean, better, or like where you've had some professional help on it kind of thing. So that was, I guess, what you just said. But yeah, man, that's amazing. So you've been just going hard for the Lord. But I mean, when you were in the secular scene, was it like was your lifestyle completely different from what it is now? Like, did you have your head in a different place? Like, were you making like completely different music back then?
Yeah, you know, actually, I think I was definitely in a different place because I wasn't saved. You know, I wasn't born again. I wasn't baptized or anything. I wasn't even married. But yeah, definitely, I was in a different place. I was making music. It was still conscious. For some reason, it was still conscious. I was still asking questions in my lyrics about spiritual matters and what might happen to us after we die, or the effects of being not sober minded at the best of times. And so yeah, the music was definitely different. I mean, and I think it played a part in my salvation as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's because of that lifestyle. I thought, wow, I'm saved, I'm rapping. I was listening to, Styles P and the Locks and all those kind of guys, and I was quite involved in the street life, the street culture, misuse of substance and alcohol in excess and things like that. And yeah, I ended up to cut a long story short, I ended up fathering a child, my first son, and I think after that, I just kind of switched. Well, I kind of switched. Like, the Lord called me onto Him anyway. But after that, I was definitely in a different place. I just switched up after that and just jumped on it for God, man. Glory to God.
Yeah, and how have you seen it, like, with your music right now? Like, as an artist in the scene, like, you're trying to put out music, you're trying to make money and put it into your music and stuff like that, but how is it? Can you describe like what the scene is to you right now? Like how you kind of do you kind of struggle to make music financially and make it work for you, kind of thing, or is it like do you find that you got support from any like any other? I want to say churches, but that's not always the case. But do you have support for what you're doing, kind of thing, or do you find that you're kind of like it's hard to get going, kind of thing?
I think both. I think the scene is, I'm so thankful for all the gospel rappers. I don't think there's a huge, I'm not aware of a huge audience for it. The world loves the world's music, and I just pray to God that we can push through and the gospel can be spread, because, not everybody, there's, the body of Christ is different members, and likewise, when we're preaching, it's not everybody can respond to a certain type of preaching, so we preach through the music, and it might be the only gospel that some people get as far as where the scene is at. And I do think as well, a lot of Christian rappers that say they're Christian rappers should be more conscious of how much Christ and how much word they're actually putting in their lyrics and their songs, as opposed to making it a testimonial rap. I think a lot of the rap is quite testimonial rather than having the word in it. But there are a lot of artists that I've been listening to, Christian artists, and I just thank God for their expression of their faith and where they're at with the Lord. And in terms of support, like I said, I'm working with Omni God Music. They've got a big movement happening. The Lord's backing, where they're bringing a lot of artists together, and a lot of us are connecting with one another, and they're showcasing a lot of artists, and they're trying to open doors for us, which is just such a blessing. And United Empire, I work closely with them guys and connect as well. But we're all doing our different things, but by God's grace, we can all come together as well as a unit, and we're strong like that. So yeah, I feel like I've got enough support. I've got enough support in that sense. I mean, if there's any producers out there, I've never had a producer. I'm accustomed to downloading free beats and just doing my thing to God's glory. But I mean, if there's any producers out there that want to contact me and hit me up, man, that would be a blessing.
yeah, what's next then? What's next for you, man? Like, what are you trying to do next?
Oh man, I'm, the Lord comes first. You know, if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't have my gifts, that I have, and so He comes first. You know, I wake up and I'm in my Word, and I wake up and I pray, and I'm married, and I've got like 5 kids, and 4 with my wife, and 1 from before I was saved. But they're all under 4. I don't know what God just. I don't know, man. It's just all crazy, but I thank God for it. And yes, I'm quite busy with family and trying to be. That's what a main ministry of mine is, taking care of my family, investing in my marriage, loving my wife, raising my kids in the admonition of the Lord. So that's the main important thing. Other than that, my brother, I whenever the Lord stirs me up to, I can't say I write every day and. I'm in the lab every day. But whenever He stirs me up to, I might see something like these rappers in the secular world, man. I might think, I gotta put something out there for God, innit? Just like the devil's putting music out there for the people to, to snatch them away. And so I gotta put things out for the Lord and hope it sows the right seeds, and so God can add the increase in that. So other than that, brother, there's nothing new projects like that or anything like that. A few people might send me little beats here and there to jump on, and I love to collaborate. That's another thing. If there's anybody out there that wants to collaborate, we can touch and agree on the subject, and we can just bless the Lord's name, and God can get the glory. That's another thing. But yeah, other than that, brother, I just take it, a track at a time, so to speak, man. I make the track, and then I just phone up somebody to do the video. And slow and steady wins the race. There's a saying that slow and steady wins the race, man. I commit my into the Lord's hands. I'll continue to nurture it, continue to use it, and whatever comes along, man, I just thank God for it and just keep it moving, my brother.
Yeah, man. Amen to that.